Up and down, up and down. What is this up and down sensation I can't stop feeling? She opens her eyes but notices no change except that her hearing is more acute. That's it. She can hear the splashing. She lifts her back from the firm surface beneath her, and searing pain shoots up her neck and feels like an explosion of agony in her head. She whimpers only a little as she puts her hand on the side of her head to feel the wet hair. Her hand was red with blood and she freaked. She screamed, "What the hell is going on?" as she scrambled through the pain and to her feet. She loses her footing and now she's completely underwater. Splashing her head above the waves, she coughs out the unmistakable taste of seawater. Her lungs hurt, and she can't see a thing but realizes for certain that she's in the ocean at night. Frantically, she spreads her arms, hoping to feel whatever boat she'd just fallen from. It was no use. She searched and searched, and it was just nowhere. She rested her arms for a bit as she rode each wave up and down, up and down. She was cold, and her face was even colder. Her nose smacked into something hard, but it had enough give in the material that it only bloodied her nose from the impact. As if by instinct, or like she'd been programmed not to die, her arms fly up and out of the water to grab the mast that had collided with her face. She just manages to climb aboard, and she begins to feel around for anything that can help. She finds supplies she's unable to identify in the dark and tries to use the moon for light. Wait. She looks up. "It's the moon," she says out loud, half expecting someone to acknowledge and match her excitement and fear. The moon's light shines from the sky, and only every so often does a sparkle of its precious light pierce the black mass she knows is the ocean. What she doesn't know is how she got on this raft she can now see as her eyes adjust to the moonlight. It's a full moon, and she knows she's somewhere near the equator. And she knows that she can use the moon to navigate her way back to land, but she was in no way a cartographer or anyone qualified to be using nature as their guide. She knows nothing about the sea, and even less about how to use the sky as a means of navigation. Thoughts of self-rescue are all but wasting her time, and she knows it. She has to think rationally. What the hell happened, first of all? She veers deep into thought as she clicks on the flashlight that was in the dry bag she'd found. Like the light she'd held in her hand flooded the raft, so did the memories flood her mind. The waves smashed right through the glass and people were swept to the opposite side of the cruise liner and right through the other glass windows and into the sea. It was just horrible. You see movies that depict a ship at sea taking over an hour to sink. In real life, the wave flipped the ship and the boat sank in less than a minute. It didn't even sink. It was as if the sea simply swallowed it. She was thrown into the sea while trying to abandon ship with other panicked survivors. You could say she was swimming. You could say that any of them were swimming. But you would be wrong, and if you believed yourself, you'd be a liar. The power of the sea made sure to reduce their attempts to swim away from the wreckage to a futile, wasted bit of energy, since they were moving in any direction the sea would have them, and they were treading water at best. A table. She could hear people screaming in the waves. They were so loud, I mean louder than she could ever remember them being. But there was a table and it was almost close enough. Smack.